Pardon me. Okay. So let me give a quick recall again. Okay. So as we was discussing about the permission in the last session. Okay. So for permission in a Linux, the command was ls space hyphen l. Okay, for the long listing. And if we can check an output of this command, we can find the directory for the D later first. Then later on, here we can find out some permission like read, write, execute, read hyphen x, read hyphen x. So in the three different part, we can find out the permission. Okay. Then here we can find out the user owner. Another in column we can find the group owner, and the finally we can find out the directory name. The output of ls-l command. Now let me show you this same thing on a terminal. Hope everyone can see my screen. If not, you can ping me in a chat box as well. Okay. So in this output of ls-l, we can see, suppose here is one directory, okay, and the output start with a D. If there, that means it is a directory, okay. And if you are getting hyphen, that means it is the file. So after hyphen or after D, okay, here in the three different part, we can find out the permission. First three permissions are for user owner. Second three permissions are for a group owner, and the last three permissions are for the group. So user owner, group owner, and others. In this three way, we can find out the permission. Here also, we can find out who is the user owner of that directory, group owner of that directory, and finally, here is the name of the directory of the file. So this is the command ls space hyphen l. Okay, we can find out the permission. Now, to assign the permission, we had seen the command was chmod, and there were some numbers like 777 is for the full permission, directory name, whatever it is. 7 is a full permission. Basically, a read is having the 4, write the number is 2, and for execute the number is 1. So suppose if you are going to assign the permission 444, that means for user owner permission will be read, for group owner will be read only, and others read only. Okay. For example, if you are going to assign the permission 755, for user owner, it will be the full permission 4 plus 2 plus 1. For the group owner, it is a 5. 5 means 4 and 1, 5. So read and execute will be there, and others will be read and execute only. So in this way, we can change the permission with the help of command chmod. And also the two important command we had seen yesterday, how we can change the owner of any file or any directory. Command was chown to change the owner. Here you need to mention the new owner name, username, and the directory of which you need to change the owner. By command chown, we can change the owner of any file, any directory. In that same way, chgrp command we can use to change the group ownership of any directory. But before implementing this all command, we should be login with the super user or the root user. This is the important, because a standard user does not have that much of privileges to change any ownership or a group ownership or even the permission of any directory or any file. Hence, we have to log in with the root owner or the root user to implement this kind of uh, permissions and all higher level activities from the user management and a permission. So this is all about permission. Okay. But even with the permission, okay, permissions are important to maintain the security of your system. Okay. So which user can access what kind of files and directory and all. Now, after assigning the permission, let's understand the concept of sudo. Okay. So this is also part of permission, advanced permission. Okay, basically, in Windows operating system, I hope you are aware about user management. In the group of administrators, if we will add the user called as John, John will act as an administrator. Okay, so there is the individual group of administrator in a Windows. See, administrator user is something different, and administrator group is a different. So if you want to make any standard user administrator, you can add that user in the group of administrators. Now, in that same way, in a Linux, we need to understand the root is a super user, okay, but we cannot make any other user as a root. But in absence of root, we can deliver some permissions, okay, to the standard user in case of the sudo. Sudo is basically the partial root access, okay. A standard user, suppose John is there, John can fire some command on behalf of the root user, but John cannot directly become the root user. So normally, let me show you the same concept on the terminal. So I'm having this terminal now. Okay. So as of now, I have login with a standard user. Dollar prompt is indicating that. Okay. So we are having the standard user login. The command is basically sudo space hyphen I. Okay. Sudo space hyphen I. And it will ask you the password of the user by itself own. And by giving the password, you can get the root login over here. Okay. So we need to understand basically what is the difference between, okay, normal method to login a root user. It is su switch user space hyphen space root. This is the normal method to login a root user. Then it will ask you the password of root user. Let me check whether I have given the password of root or not. Maybe I forget the password. Okay, fine. So by su space hyphen space root, in this way we can log in with the root user, but in that case we should have the password of root user. But even we do not have the password of root user, we can go with the sudo space hyphen I. This is the command to log in with the root user. Okay. Now, what sudo is? Sudo is a partial root permission or a partial permission of the super user. Okay. But every user will not get the sudo access instead of, okay, root will allow. For example, root needs to assign the sudo values first. Okay. So for that purpose, here is the file. Okay. It is the sudoers file. Okay. It's showing empty. Let me log in with the root first, because that file will be get accessed by only root user. Fine. So the file is inside etc. Okay, and the file name is a sudoers. So what this sudoers file is, okay, this file is located at inside of /etc. In this file there are all like settings, okay, which will help a standard user to become the root or even to get access of the root user. Okay, so in this file let's have a look first. File start from here. Okay, and as you can see, this is a very important file, okay, from the point of permissions basically. Okay, so here is one line which you can see with this comment. Okay, user privileges specification. Okay, under this user privileges specification, it is one line, okay, the root super user, and here is the mention like all is equal to all colon all and all. This is very important line, okay. So on behalf of this line, we can add the different user to get the sudo access. Before that, let me show you in our computer right now, every user does not have the sudo access. For example, let's first check what user we have. For example, here is user one. Okay, user one is there. Let's try to log in with user 10. First, I will change the shell of every user by using user mod command. Bin bash user 1, 2, 3, 4. Just to get the proper terminal syntax. Okay. Now I'm going to log in with user 1. Fine. Now I am logging with user 1. Okay. And what if I will log in with, if we'll try to log in to file command sudo space hyphen I. Okay. It is asking me the password of user 1. I think I have not set the password. Let's set the password to user 1 first. Also to user 2 and user 3. Now we have login with the user 1, and this time I am trying to log in with root sudo space hyphen I. This is a normal command to get sudo access. Now let's have a look on the onto this error. User 1 is not in sudoers file. Okay, so the basically sudoers file which we have seen recently. Okay, in this file user 1 is not there, and hence user 1 cannot log in with the root user. So this sudoers file, we need to make the entry of the particular user, okay, to whom we need to give the partial access of the super user. So now let me show you how we can add this user 1 in the sudoers file. First, again, you need to log in with the root user, and you can open the file. In the user privileges specification, okay, here is the already one line added with the root. You need to just add one more line, okay, under this line. Just mention the username in the same syntax, okay. You need to add the value as a root, then colon, sorry, here was a colon and all, okay. The same value of the root I have assigned to the user 1, okay. Now let's save and exit this file. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to log in with user 1 once again. So we are logged in with user 1. And this time, if you check the command sudo space hyphen I, user 1, it is asking its own password, and we are logged in with the super user, root user. Basically, what is the use of sudo command? Okay, let me explain in short. Okay, suppose we are logging with a John. Okay, in absence of the root user or a system user, and John wants to add some user. Normal or standard user do not have any permission, any privileges to add the user or to remove the user or to change the permission. Okay, such kind of system activities. So if you added the John user in a sudoers file, John can fire that all command, but just adding sudo command before every command. Okay, for example, user 1 is here. If user 1 will try to add user add space user 11, here John user 1 is getting error, the permission denied. Okay, but the same command if will apply by adding sudo, then user 11 has been added. So here is a small difference. Okay, standard user, if you need to add in a sudoers file, okay, so in that situation, first you will add that user in a sudoers file. And then you can fire any command on behalf of the root user. Any command you can fire, but just you need to add sudo command before every command. So user 1 has successfully login or created the user 11. If you want to delete any single user, okay, still you cannot delete the user until and unless you will use of sudo. User del command will be same, just you need to add sudo before the command, and user 11 has been deleted. So in this way, before every command, user needs to add sudo command, okay, to perform the all system activities. But this will work only if you have added the John user or that particular user in this file. Okay, so let me show you that file again. The file is /etc/sudoers. Basically, the file name is sudoers, which is inside of /etc. And here we were added the entry of user 1. Okay, just one line below to the root user. Now, this is how we have added the user 1 in a sudoers file, and as the same as root, user 1 is getting all privileges, almost all privileges. Okay, but what if we do not want to give the full permission, okay, to the user 1? We can separate the permissions. Okay, now let me show you. Here we have added the syntax of the sudoers file. Entry in a sudoers file, like John user we have added. Then we have given the all access over here. All is equal to in bracket all colon all. Here is a colon, not semicolon. Okay, and finally all we have added. So John is added in a sudoers file. Okay, so John can work on behalf of the root user. But in another case, let me give an example. Suppose we are going to add the Harry over here. Okay, but we do not want to allow Harry to like fire the all commands. Okay, Harry should not be able to fire the all command, but few limited, a few selected commands, if we are planning to give to Harry, here instead of this all, we need to assign the commands over here. Okay, I'm just going to give you an example. For example, I am going to give the two command access to the Harry. One command is a user add, and another command is a user del. So here you need to assign the command. First, user add command or user del command, you have to understand the path of this command, where these commands are located. For example, the commands are located inside of /has been/user add. Okay. So you need to mention the command one by one here, and Harry user will be only allowed to run this particular command which you have added over here. So instead of this last all, you can mention the particular individual command with the same syntax. So let me show you. In this our command, we have assigned user 1, and user 1 was having the full access same as the root user. Now in case of user 2, I'm going to give some limited permissions or limited commands to user 2. Here I need to just assign the command as been /user add, okay, or space /has been /user del. Only I'm giving access of these two commands, user add and user del, to the user 2. Okay, but not like a user 1. User 1 is having the all access. Okay, so let's see now user 2. It will get only access of two command. I'm going to log in with user 2. The command is to log in the user YCLI. It is the su space hyphen space user 2. So this time user 2 is there. Okay, we can check with who am I. User 2 is logged in, and Now let's see the sudo access. Okay, sudo access for user add space user 12. User 12. I see. Fine. See, the command, it has given the error, and we came to know that the path for user add command is /usr/sbin/user add. So we have given the wrong path of /sbin. Basically, we are using the Kali Linux. Okay, if you are having the different operating system, Debian-based operating system like Kali, Parrot, it will be a little change as compared to the Red Hat Linux or Central Linux. So I'm just going to change the path. Okay, the path is usr bin user add. In that same file, we need to just change the path. The path was /usr/bin/user add, and same was here /usr/bin/user dev. Okay, sorry, usr has been was there. So if you read the error carefully, even you will get the solution. Okay, usr has been. Now let's try to log in with user 2, and then we can check with the sudo user add first, user add space user 12. Okay, user 2 is not allowed to execute. USR has been user add. USR has been user add. User 12 as root on Kalki. Just allow me 1 minute only. There is something we are missing. User 2. The command is user add. USR has been perfect. There is nothing. USR has been. Okay. Let's check this same thing, not on a Kali Linux, but in other operating system. Here we have the one more operating system of RHEL. Okay. It is a Red Hat Enterprise Linux. It is get installed. Okay. Again, installation is in pending mode. Let me turn on the any other client operating system, because so see, the Kali Linux is a basically security operating system, and it has some different setting and protocols. Okay, so we need to check the same thing on a Ubuntu. Okay, let me turn on the Ubuntu operating system, as it is a convenient operating system for us, or the same hours also we can open. Fine. So basically, sudo is what we can deliver the root privileges, okay, to the standard user as per our requirement. So this is again a similar file which we need to access in a CentOS. File name was sudoers. Let's have a look into this CentOS now. Fine. It is taking only few seconds to get OS up. And finally, we are in CentOS. Okay. So the sudo space -i command we was discussing about. See now, same file I'm going to access, okay, in CentOS, and we need to find the line, okay. If the screen is not having good resolution, let me take the remote of that same CentOS. Okay, let's take this remote of this CentOS on our terminal so that we can take a look into that terminal clearly. Okay, video app is already here. So this system is not getting the IP address of the same network to take remote access again. Anyway, okay, let's continue with the same screen. We were discussing about the sudoers command. Let's open this file. In this same sudoers file, you need to find command direction option. Allow root to the run any command anywhere. Okay, this was the line. Now what you need to do here, you need to add the username. Okay, so in this CentOS, admin user is there. Okay, admin user who do not have any permission. Okay, of the root. So we can check this in another terminal. See, I'm logging with root admin user, and admin user do not have the sudo permission. Sudo space user add is suppose admin one. Okay, so admin user is not in a sudoers file. It is clearly stated over there. Now come into the file. I'm going to add admin user into the sudoers file as same as root user is there. Okay, same entry for the admin user as well. But in this situation, we need to just log out the user because we have logged in with the admin user graphically. Hence, it may not take the changes immediately. So we can check the available user in passwd file. Okay, we do not have any user. Let's add some user. User add space user 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to set the password to the same user 1, then user 2, and the user 3. Fine. Now we have the user 3, user 1, user 2, and user 3. Let me try to log in with user 1. Okay, user 1 we have logged in successfully. And let's check the sudo access. Basically, sudo space -i, and you can see user 1 is not in sudoers file. Now come to the sudoers file once again, and here we are going to add the entry of user 1. User 1 has all. Okay, same permission as root user. Okay, that means full root access we are giving to assign to the user 1. Now let's cross check it by logging user 1, and the command was sudo space -i, and you can see we have logged in with a root super user successfully. So this is how we can add any user in a sudoers file to get the full root access. Instead of that, let me show you. Suppose user 1 wants to create the user. What he needs to do, he needs to basically, if he will use the command user add space user 4, it is getting the error permission denied. But the same command, if you fired with a sudo command, okay, then you can create the user. Let's check the user. Okay, user 4 has been created successfully. So before every command, okay, you need to add the sudo. But for that entire purpose, user should be like mentioned in that sudoers file. Now, as we have added user 1 in this sudoers file, and we have mentioned the all commands, all access to user 1. User 2, we are also going to mention, okay, in that same file, but with a limited commands. So we need to mention the path of the commands here. I'm going to mention the command as being slash user add space slash has been slash user del. Only two command I have mentioned here. One is a user add, another one is user del for user 2. Now let's try to log in with user 2, and we need to cross check if the user 2 is able to fire the command which we have mentioned. The command was user add space user. Suppose we are going to add the user 5 this time, okay, by adding sudo command. Let's give the password. Okay, something again we are missing. Let me check the syntax of this file. Has been user add been and has been. Definitely has been is there. Let me try with a single command just to avoid the error. Space hyphen space user 2 sudo space user add space user 5. Perfect. User 2 has created. Okay, let's check with the del space hyphen 5 etc pass wd. User 5 is there. So what was the mistake we had done? Let me explain. Here I think we need to give the comma to separate the command. Okay, now we can add the multiple commands like as been. Before adding the new command, okay, let's check that user 2 just got the access to user add command only. Okay, user add space user 6. That means user 2 can create the user. But what if we try to delete the user del space user 6? In that case, system is avoiding to delete the user by user 2. User 2 do not have the permission to do anything instead of just the single command. Command is user, because we have mentioned in that sudo's file only one single command, and the command was user add only, not user del. So if you want, you can add the multiple commands over here by separating the comma. Next command we are going to give just as being space user del as well. Now user 2 can just fire these two command. One is user add and another one is user del. I think we have fine. Now let's cross check with user 2. Sudo space. I am trying to delete the user this time. User del space user 6. And see, user 6 has been removed. User 6 has been removed successfully. Now user 2 having the permission of only two command. Now if we check to try to fire any other command, for example, I'm going to check the user mod command. Okay, let's try to fire the user mod command. User mod space, let's try to change the shell. Okay, slash bin slash sh of user 1. So same error we are getting. Okay, because user 2 do not have the permission to do anything instead of the two command. One is user add, another one is user del. So this is how we can assign the permission of on behalf of the root. If we are setting in the last column like it is an all, so that user will work on behalf of the root user. And if you want to give the partial command access, we can mention the commands and we can separate the command by comma as well. So this is how we can deliver the permission of root to this standard user. Hope this concept is clear with you. Okay, we are going to add Okay, fine. The network was down. Let me assign the IP address here so that we can take the remote on our terminal now. Yes, we got the IP address that 3.21. Access. Now we can take the remote of virtual machine. Perfect. Okay. So what we was discussing, it was a sudo access, okay, and the file was slash inside of slash etc file was sudoers file, okay. So whatever permission you need to assign, okay, permission in the sense basically these are the advanced level permission, okay. It's not like a read and write and execute. From sudoers file, you can give the partial access of the super user root to the any standard user, whether it is John or Harry, okay. On behalf of the root, those user will fire the command which are mentioned in this file, sudoers file. So this is the sudo and sudo access, okay. I hope onwards, whenever you are going to deal with any Linux distribution, and if you need to fire sudo space hyphen I command, you will able to relate exactly what is the use of sudo access. Fine. Any doubt about sudo access? I request you to please put your doubts if that point is clear or not, or even if you have any doubt about the sudo access, because this is a very important topic of the Linux. In case of the advanced permission, okay, you need to give the particular permission, sudo access or the partial sudo access to the different users. Okay, fine. Now let's move ahead, okay, in advanced permission. I hope you remembered what we had done in a last session, okay, about the permission. We have assigned the permission to the group owner, user owner, group owner, and other was there, okay. So user owner, suppose it is the John, okay. Then here is the group owner. Second permission block is for group owner, and let's consider it is the IT and others are there, for example. Now in advanced permission, we also need to understand, okay, what if we needed to assign the permission, okay, from the user who is the member of IT. In this example, let's understand. Suppose we have assigned the permission of read and write, okay, not execute permission, but and IT is having the number of members, like the user one is there, user two is also there, and user three is also there. Let's have the execute permission as well here. Read, write, and execute. So IT group is having the full permission for directory called as India. Okay, I'm repeating the scenario again. We have the directory called as India, and we have made the group owner to the IT, and IT is having the member user 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the permission of group owner is full permission, read and execute. Now, suppose a new member, John has been, not John, Harry has been added over here. Okay. Harry has joined newly, and you need to add Harry user into the IT group. It is a compulsion. Okay. Now, what if you don't want to give full access of India directory to the Harry just because of he joined newly, okay, just before 1 or 2 days, but you cannot refuse Harry to adding into the IT group. Okay, so let's consume that you have added Harry user into the IT group. Now Harry is having the full permission as it is a part of IT. But still there is a provision in a Linux, even though here is a member of IT, you can assign the zero permission, okay, zero permission for having. And this we can, this task we can complete with the special permission for that purpose. The command is set FACL, okay, FACL, basically it is a special permission. So the command is set FACL, okay, and let me create the scenario first to understand this same concept. So I'm coming to the CentOS. Let me log in with the root first. Here is the root. We have already have some users. User 1 to 5 user we are having, okay, and I'm going to add the group IT, okay, and HR. Now we are having the two group also. I'm going to add the user into the IT group, user 1, user 2, user 3. So 3 user has become the member of IT. How we can check? We can check in a group 5. So here is the member of IT group, user 1, user 2, and user 3. Now let's create one directory inside of parent directory. Directory name is India. Okay. And if we check the permission for India, okay, here are the permission. Read, write, execute. That means for user owner, the full permission is there. For group owner, read and execute is here. And for others, only read and execute. If we check the user owner, it is also root, and group owner, same root. Now let's change the user owner and group owner first. I'm going to change the owner. I'm going to set the user 1 as user owner, or we can set the admin as well for the directory India. Okay. And group owner, we are going to change group ownership to the IT for India. Now let's check the result. For India directory, user owner is admin and group owner is IT. Okay. These two changes basically we have done. Now let's change the permission. Which permission we are going to change? We are just going to set the permission to the group owner. Okay, the full permission we are going to set. The command is chmod. Okay, chmod. For user owner, it should be 7. That means full permission. For group owner, also it should be the full permission. And for others, I'm not setting any permission. 770. Let me explain again. 7 is full permission for user owner. Second, 7 is the full permission of the group owner, which is IT, and 0 for others, and the directory is India. We can check the permission over here. India is having the full permission for user owner, which is admin, right? Admin is having the full permission. Group owner, RWX, group is also having the full permission, whether IT is a group owner. And IT's member like user 1, user 2, user 3. These 3 users are getting the full permission and others do not have any permission. Now the point is, in IT, there is a user called as user 3 who is joined recently, newly, just before 1 and 2 days, and you don't want to give the full permission to user 3 for this India directory. But at the same time, you cannot remove that user from IT because he joined the IT group. Now, let me show you how we can. Okay, first we'll check with user 3. Okay, user 3, whether user 3 is having the full permission or not. So I'm going to the directory India and let's try to create some file as well. Don't know, system is I think getting hang. Okay, fine. And let's try to create the file. Test1 file is created. That means user 3, okay, having the read permission or basically the full permission for that directory. Now we do not want to remove user 3 from the IT group, but we need to limit his permission by setting SEL. Set ACL. We need to use this command to assign the like the advanced permission or special permission. The option -m we are going to use. Okay. Now for user, which user? User 3. Okay. We need to assign the permission only read, not write, not execute. Okay. See again, repeating the command. Command is set. Sorry, set FACL. Command is set FACL. Okay. Space -m. For user, we are going to add the specific user, which is user 3, and the permission for user 3 should be read, only read. Okay. Not write, not execute. And finally, for which directory? Just mention the name of the directory. It is India. Now user 3 is still member of IT group. Okay. Still it is member of IT group. So according to IT groups or group owner permission, user 3 should get the full permission. But just because of the special permission, okay, now we need to check user 3 is getting only read permission. Let's see. It is space / India. If I'm going to try, I'm getting the permission denied error. So even user 3 cannot enter in that directory. Even it cannot read the file from that directory. That means user 3 is still part of IT group. Okay. And IT which is the user owner of that directory. Okay. User owner. And user owner, as of now, you can see the permission. User owner is having the full permission for that directory. So this is how you can implement the special permission. Okay. Even though in the same way, suppose user 10 is there. Okay. User 10 is a VIP user of your organization, but he is not a user owner or he is not in an IT group. Still, if you want to give the full permission to user 10, okay, you can give the special permission to the user 10. You do not need to change the permission of all other user, but only user 10 by set FACL. Let me show you the same concept again. Okay, I'm going to create the user add and user 10, suppose. Now basically user 10 is a not owner, user 10 is not a member of IT. Okay, and basically it will consider as the others. So for other, there is zero permission. If you check, zero permission. But still, let's again implement the special permission. Set FACL space -m with the user user 10 is there, and permission read, write, execute, full permission. This time we are going to assign for the directory India. Okay. Now let's log in with the other user, which is user 10. And we need to check if user 10 is getting full access for that directory. Of course, it is inside of India, and you can check the content. Here is a file test1, and if it want, you can remove the file of test1 as well. See, the file has been removed. Even though he can remove the directory as well. I see India. Sorry, sorry. India directory he cannot remove. Just the reason is the owner of that directory is someone different. Owner is admin. Okay. Hence the India directory was not removed by user 10. So these are the two important command. One is the set FACL. Set FACL. By using set FACL, you can implement the special permission. And the important point is how we can check, okay, whether the special permissions are there or not. For that purpose, you need to use get FACL command, okay, towards the particular directory. Suppose you need to check the special permission on India directory. You can check here. India directory is there. Owner is admin. Group owner is IT. For user 3, here is a special permission only read, which we had assigned before few minutes. And user 10, from the others to user 10, we have assigned the full permission. So this is the command get facl. Okay, we can fire this command get facl to check the special permission. Only check. So set FACL, by using set FACL, we can implement the special permission, and by using get FACL, we can check the special permission. So this is what we have discussed today. Okay. First was the sudo access. I hope you understood the concept of sudo. It is a partial privileges or partial access to the root. Not exact root, but partial. And second was special permission. So this was the two different type of permission also we can implement to enhance the security of the Linux and Linux files and directories. Fine, that is all for today. We are going to stop here with the permission, special permission, sudo and as well as set FACL. Onwards, we are going to close this topic the today's session just before 5 minutes. Pardon me for that, and we'll meet again by the same time by tomorrow on the same time. So thank you very much, guys, for giving your valuable time. See you by tomorrow on the same time.